Good evening, gentlemen. This is S.I.R, that is S-I-R. I hope you have been brushing up on your German. The tour has been hired to help a family of aristocrats find their missing daughter. It is believed that she is still somewhere on their massive estate. You must find her and bring her to her parents, unharmed. This may seem like a simple delivery task, but be wary. There is something wrong with this place, and the minds of the family are closed to me. Stay alert and avoid eye contact.
You once again click ready for job and find yourself whisked away. You find yourself sort of on the edge of an acreage. The area is massive. There's actually a forested area nearby. There's all kinds of buildings on this sort of rolling hills scene. You feel like you're on the set of The Sound of Music or something like that. You're obviously up on an elevated surface
the
because
hills are alive. Terrifying.
because you can't see in the distance a city nearby, so you're obviously sort of away
like
from
a
the
city?
A city,
Okay.
probably like Vienna
What
or
kind
something
of
like
music?
that.
Is it like techno?
I believe
Rap?
it was like Nazis in the movie.
Nazi music? Doesn't sound very nice.
You can see a few meters away. There's what looks to be sort of a bridge. There's like a little river that runs to sort of create a natural moat around this property.
River runs through it.
And you can see in the distance like at least 36 people all kind of wandering around in small groups, sort of doing like a patrol around. And you can see some of them are shouting out someone's name, and others are just kind of looking along.
What was the time of day?
And so on. You'd say it's probably about 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. So sun's up in the sky.
Are these people acting panicked or like?
No, they're pretty calm. They are
Just
wearing
yelling
they're wearing gray uniforms, and they have some sort of emblem on their shoulder that you can't really make out from here. So
I wonder if these are the fellows searching for our poor missing daughter.
before you, at the bottom of your feet, in the grass, is a small cardboard box for each of you, labeled with your names. Much smaller than normal. But the size of like a jewel case today instead of like an Amazon box.
But then I understand that good things come in small packages.
I hope it's a Luger.
There are 4 items in the box. One is, of course, your familiar earpieces. The second is the Palm Pilot, which you also have in order to receive messages and make notes.
Mine isn't turning on. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
The third one is each of you have a sheet of paper, looks like a medical report written in sort of messy handwriting, folded up into as small a fold as can be made, as to fit into a small
Oh
box.
dear.
And then the fourth one is what looks like tinted contact lenses inside of a plastic case.
Oh, I've never had any success with these. I always find they don't stay in my eyes.
No, it's because you're old and you don't do it correctly. Here's how it goes. And I open the case and
Oh, how distressing. You just poked yourself in the eye. It looks like it ought to have hurt.
now I can see.
Did you just put one in?
I just put one.
Okay, so on the eye that you did it, you don't actually notice any sort of, like, tint. They look, like, really dark, like sunglasses when you looked at them, but everything seems just as bright when you put it in.
Do the other one, nothing?
They make it look so easy.
Wait, we should have somebody looking a little normal in case these look really not great to, normal people.
If I'm looking at his eyes right now without the contact lenses in, what am I seeing? Do I see the contact lenses? Are they changing the color of his eyes and the darkness of them?
No, you don't really
They
notice
just
anything
disappeared.
discernible. Yeah.
As far as
They're
I
just
can,
clear.
as
Yeah.
far as I can see, Mr. Taggart, there's nothing in your eyes.
But they were dark. I mean, it didn't. Okay. I have no explanation for this one.
Oh, miracles of modern science, or something like that.
Magic. but made by doctors.
Yes. Something like that, I think.
On the bridge that leads over the water, there is an older-looking couple standing side by side. They look straight out of a 1950s, like family sitcom. The man is wearing
from the people outside. Okay.
the man is wearing a like business suit with a tie and everything, and the lady is in like a full sort of like a summer dress. Really fancy shoes on, despite the fact that they're walking around in the grass. Season-wise, it's like springtime. I would say.
Yeah.
So like, I would say maybe late April, early May.
Okay, so it's still a little chill nip in the air, but nice to be outside.
Yeah. So the couple is standing. They both have sort of like pencil smiles, like they're not showing their teeth. They're just kind of. Interestingly, both of them are wearing sunglasses. The man raises his hand and kind of waves it back and forth. Oh, what's that? I don't actually know German, so I'm just going to do gibberish.
Tag.
Yeah, I know. Guten Tag. I know.
I walk over to
I know Guten Nacht is night. So.
Yeah, Frau? I bow low and then focus my gaze somewhere on the left ear of one of them.
No,
It's
doctor.
a pleasure to meet you both. I suppose you might be our clients for today.
Doctor, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Oh no, I don't. Do you?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Das.
Cool.
Huh.
And I say that in German for the continuing conversation.
Yes. So we will do this Star Trek thing from here on out, where we will assume we are speaking German unless I say
we'll do the thing that I had to do for I gotta do it again.
Yeah.
I'd do the translation for Zero.
Yeah. Good to meet you.
Likewise. You hailed us over. I assume we are to be working for you today.
You are from the tower.
Yes.
Oh, I know that word. It's like tall building.
Yes.
I am Felix von Haugen, and this is my wife Alexandra. Hello.
Oh, I know that word too.
My name is Gil Taggart, and this is my compatriot Goodman Gray. Don't shake his hand if you can help it.
Oh, okay. I don't like touching people's hands anyways.
That's fair.
Oh. It is good to see you. We are very eager for your assistance. We hear that you are good at finding things.
We are incredibly good at a multitude of things.
Then the wife speaks up. We are also understanding that you are good at discretion.
Looks at present company, including himself, for some reason, and goes, yes, we don't have the one who typically has the big gun, so this should be very clean.
Oh, I know that word. Isn't that the... Oh, that's another... No. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Okay, God. If you would follow me, I will fill you in with what you need to know. And then you can join my security officers in searching our grounds.
Excellent. Do you also speak English, or is the specific...
He clears his throat. Now he is speaking English. I speak the English, but took 3 courses in school.
So not enough to understand if my compatriot says something to me in English that is very complicated. I'll have to translate the best I can. I am a genius. It should not be hard.
Good. And then he goes back to speaking German.
Oh,
I like your
I know that
sunglasses.
word.
I did say that back to
Okay.
him in German, though.
Okay. Thank you. They're very expensive.
Gray pulls Taggart aside for a moment as the
you
two of
should
them
know
start walking
Danke.
off.
That one's very common in English
I got
speech.
Gut as well. That one, I think, doesn't need translation. The rest of it, I was a little fuzzy on, but you can fill me in as we go.
I'll probably forget, and I turn to follow.
So the husband and wife walk as if they're walking on a tightrope, like they follow a very structured line. You get the sense that he must have like been in the military or something, or Either that or they're like...
She is also highly disciplined in walking in a completely straight line?
Yes. They walk hands behind their backs, kind of thing, as they sort of...
Mr. Taggart, did you have the opportunity to ask them about their sunglasses? It's really not that bright out here.
I said that they were nice, and he said thank you, which is where I said you should have understood, where he said danke.
Oh, okay.
We've entered the...
You haven't gone to the house. He's leading you. You've gone across the bridge now, and you're now walking through the acreage. He's actually not leading you anywhere near the house. He's taking you towards the forested area where some of the other guys are walking around.
Mr. Taggart, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to speak through you for a few moments.
Okay.
So the question I would like you to
So the
pose
question...
is...
One moment, I need to simultaneously translate.
Where did they last
Where
see their
did they
young daughter?
last see their young daughter?
Okay. Well, oh my god.
And why are we heading in this particular direction?
Why are we heading into... Can you fill us in while we walk, please?
He stops and spins on a dime back to face you. Okay. Well, this is where you need to be filled in a little bit. My daughter's name, she is Flora. Flora von Haugen. She is, as of last week, 19 years old. I'm afraid she, through some unfortunate circumstances, was made pregnant. And, normally, of course, this would be rather shameful, but he looks at his wife. We swallowed our pride and accepted the future baby into our home.
You make it sound like it's an issue that she is pregnant. Is that not something that happens in this day and age?
No, but she was, how you say, raped.
I communicated this back to the doctor, or the... I just call you doctor, because I don't know what else to call you.
Oh dear, how regrettable. And good men will do, thank you.
Yes, doctor.
How sorrowful. Our condolences, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course, condolences. She was in about the second trimester, and unfortunately she lost the infant. We took her to a doctor who was most discreet, who promised to keep it silent. What was his name, dear? Do you remember? Keely, or something like that. Yes, maybe. Anyways, she returned rather upset, and we decided that it would be best if she, stayed home for the next few days. She's homeschooled and things like that, you understand. We have many enemies. We are rather, and he stares at the house, well known. We have come on all the money, you can say. Anyways, she was not found yesterday morning when we called her down for breakfast, and we have been searching for her on the premises ever since.
So she's been missing for less than 24 hours at this point?
No, she has been missing for about 36.
So less
all
than
day yesterday
48.
and yes, less than 48.
Well, if I know anything about any kind of detective work, the last 12 hours of the investigation it's 48 hours typically in some kind of missing persons case in order to really find somebody, so hopefully these last 12 hours can count.
Yes, hopefully so. If we wait too much longer, then we might have complications.
What are the sunglasses about?
What do you mean?
I mean, I put a thing in my face. That's complicated. You're both wearing sunglasses, and we're heading towards indoors. Are you not going to take them?
He motions to them and taps on them like he just noticed or something. Oh, it is bright outside.
Okay.
Gray, through all of this, has been just sort of nodding his head gently whenever the fellow looks in his direction as though he's following it all.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of quietly listening for words that he gets.
Yeah.
Storing away names like Flora von Haugen. Okay. Oh. Pregnancy, right?
Then he points back to this. So, the entire property is about 18 acres. In that direction over there, we have the guest house. No one is currently staying there, but we have many cleaning staff there. You may go there if you wish. In that direction over there, we have the worker houses and villas. You may talk to the groundskeeper or the gardeners if you so desire, if you think they would help. And in that direction, we have the gardens. There's a beautiful gazebo, but now is not the time for rest and garden walking. And then he points back, this is the mansion. You may, in no circumstances whatsoever, enter the mansion at any time.
So I wait for Taggart to fill me in on this. How certain are they that the young Ms. Haugen is not to be found inside the mansion?
This is something that we will have to consider during the thorough investigation that we will have to be doing. Potentially...
No, Mr. Taggart, that's for you to ask them.
No, this is something I don't want to say because this could make them hostile to us, and I don't want them to, maybe they're just locking her in the basement or something, and this is not something we want them to hear, which is why we're saying it in English and not in German.
Your reasoning is sound, Mr. Taggart, but if they were locking her in the basement, why would they pay us a lot of money to show up?
Something supernatural, or the baby has not been lost, or worse, the baby was some kind of demon or monster, or some kind of, yeah.
Mr. Taggart, I think you are worrying unnecessarily. Please go ahead and ask them the question.
How certain are you that she's not hiding somewhere in the mansion?
100%.
Are you sure we can't double-check ourselves?
You may not come into the mansion at any point. I'm sorry. But we made this very clear when we contracted the tour.
Do you have, drones or something that we can fly into it to take a look around and not physically enter it ourselves?
We do not permit machines on the Van Haugen acreage.
How do you mow all this grass?
We employ many people.
Bye. If we need anything, we'll shout.
Leave, and the two of them leave back to the mansion.
So I take it that was a absolutely not and absolutely certain sort of response.
Yeah, she's probably in the basement, but we'll need some kind of proof in order to do that. They said don't go to the gardens with the gazebo because there's no need for rest and relaxation. So either that's really important, and maybe the body's under the floorboards in the gazebo. I'm gonna be really dark about this one because that's just the nature of any kind of missing persons case. Have you ever read Poe?
I feel certain that if we were to find her underneath of the floorboards, it would be because we'd heard her heart beating.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, I know.
Nevermore.
Let's move on, shall we? I understand that there are some workers hereabouts who might have some insights.
As you continue to chat, one of the gentlemen nearby, who is sort of on the edge of the wooded area, has come over. The men with him are all in these gray uniforms. And as they approach, you can see there's a triangle imprinted on their thing, and it says, in German characters, Van Haugen. So, Van Haugen Sec.
Okay.
So
he approaches us from behind?
And he, the couple, are wearing dark sunglasses. So.
Oh, hello there, sir.
Ah! I'm sorry, I'm quite jumpy.
I can't help but notice that you're also wearing sunglasses.
Also? He taps on them the same sort of way. It is sunny outside.
Is he speaking English?
He's speaking English.
Okay.
He has an accent, but he's speaking English, okay. So.
You speak
You speak excellent English. I'm surprised to find that.
I have been abroad. Stayed many years in England.
Why do the masters of the house not speak English, I guess?
They are more isolationist, one with nature,
Can
as
I
you
just-
say.
Do seem rather traditionalist, don't they?
Yes.
I could ask you a really weird question. Could you go into the house and get me a glass of water?
There is a well by the garden, and we have water supplies in the guest house and the worker house.
That didn't work. I was only curious as to why I'm not allowed to enter the house.
No strangers to the Van Haugen acreage are allowed in the
Well, you can
mansion.
still go in. Just for clarification.
I mean,
We're doing an investigation. This is important.
yes, of course. We have been informed to your arrival.
What is your name?
My name is Christoph Keefer. I am the head of security for the Van Haugen family.
I hope
we
you
were
don't
gonna
mind
look for you.
if I call you Christoph.
That is perfectly fine.
Excellent, and you may call me Goodman. Goodman Grey.
A pleasure.
Gil
Gil
Taggart.
Gil Taggart. Interesting. Yes, so how much do you know?
Hopefully everything, but if it's an investigation, we'll clearly find out more as the day goes on.
Interesting.
How much success have you had in terms of tracking down any evidence of where she might have fled?
I mean, if they had more evidence, they would have the groom.
A suggestion of where she might have gone, say paths are found, some markings in mud, but
Any
from
leads
there...
in any direction that's not maybe the...
Unfortunately, the Van Haugens have
Yes,
been
that's
for
right, that's what they're called, Mr. Taggart.
Yeah.
have
Well
been
done.
for directions, have been for many generations masters of privacy, and this it also makes this place very easy to hide in.
There's also 18 acres of land, and that's a lot for... How many people are on the staff currently in this establishment?
There are currently 47 people employed.
That's not a lot to cover 18 acres.
No, it is not, which is why we have been searching day and night.
For a day and night, yeah, that checks out.
So, Christoph, let us not be too formal. You say that you have been searching day and night. How much of your 18 acres have you covered?
We are about 3/4.
Oh, I see. You've been making quick progress then.
They've been
Most of
searching for probably more than a day, I could only imagine.
He sort of sweeps his arm in every direction. Most of our land is open plains, and so most of the area can be seen from the top of the mansion or from another viewpoint.
There's no machinery, so you don't have planes or anything. That's inconvenient.
No planes are allowed on the Van Hogen acreage.
I've heard.
I don't suppose you've considered asking for assistance from the local authorities for a flyover, perhaps?
That is absolutely out of the question. The Van Hogen
No fly zone, probably.
have been very, very clear that they do not want the local authorities involved. It would be shameful. They are not very discreet.
This is true, and of course the Tor is famed for its discretion in all these matters. I'm wondering if you have covered most of these 18 acres and you have no leads whatsoever, where exactly you would like us to fit in?
There are a few places that are big and extensive, and perhaps many of your skills would be suited for searching out buildings. There are 3 places left to cover that are extensive. Those are the gardens and the 2 houses, the guest house and the
Can we see the
worker
gardens
house.
from here?
Yeah.
Or
It's on the other side of the
isn't it
forested
like
area.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a garden. Like it's
Like a
like
garden garden?
Like a garden.
With a big
like
gazebo.
like vegetables and a big gazebo in the middle, like a fountain, and
So
at no expense.
it's a lot of items, but how many of them are blocking view?
There's the wooded area.
This is wooded area. It's just that it's like on the garden is on the other side of this little
But I
forested
mean,
area.
like, where would there be places to hide
Sunflowers.
in this
The
garden?
gazebo, if that
Is
is.
is there any
There's-
other structures in
There's rows of crops and things like that.
Some
like
hedges,
it's just
maybe, if
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
bushes
there
with
are rows
berries
of
on
tall
them.
crops. There's lots of tall bushes. There's
Not something easy to move through.
A
Have you ever ran
gazebo.
through crops?
and there is a fountain. You said.
Yes.
Any statuary?
No.
Okay. Any area where hay has been gathered, grass cuttings,
No, it doesn't
sheds
It doesn't seem like they have any
for
animals, but
maintenance tools.
there are sheds though, like that probably hold hose. That hold hose and other gardening equipment like that.
Oh, I thought you said this was a garden.
I'll be heading over there next.
There are lots of sheds because it's obviously don't have like automatic tractors or watering like.
And that's in the garden area?
Yeah. Those sheds are like sort of like dotted around.
So you said there were 47 of you on the staff.
That's correct.
That seems like a very small number to maintain such an extensive estate.
We have some assistants.
Oh.
Yes.
Livestock?
And are those assistants available for us today
Fish
to
people?
offer further assistance?
We would rather not have to ask.
Oh, and why is that?
John Cena?
Because their price is rather high, even for someone of the Van Hougen's caliber.
I find that surprising for you to say, given that you've contracted with us.
Is this like a Fae matter?
Kristoff stares at you, Gil, for a while and lifts his eyebrows. He sees sort of lift up from underneath his sunglasses for a moment. And
In any case, at the moment I'm going to exercise my project manager role for the matter and say, please stay silent for the remainder of this conversation.
You think I'm very odd, but I do a very good job.
he holds his gaze there for about 3 seconds, and then he kind of frowns. Curious.
Mr. Taggart is most definitely a number one. In any case, please, tell us more about these individuals with the high price, if you can.
And again, he lifts his eyebrows towards you and holds his gaze. Again, you can't see his eyes. The sunglasses are that dark.
And I am keeping my eyes firmly planted on the left ear whenever I am looking at someone.
And he frowns again. Curious. Well, I am not really at liberty to share that information at the moment, but maybe Mr. Van Hougen will discuss when he comes back out later after dinner. If you excuse me, I must return to the search.
But of course.
Please, if you find any leads, do not hesitate to contact me.
Thank you for your assistance.
Mr. Taggart, there's quite obviously
he
strange
transfers
going-ons here. Shall
Something
we...
about eye contact I can tell immediately. That's why we have the lenses. They're going to be able to block whatever eye contact that's probably brain control. Not mind control, it's completely different.
Good guess.
Vampires?
Possibly.
But the sun's out.
It's not a problem for all of them, but it would be very strange to find Shinso out here in the German countryside.
Austrian countryside.
Whatever.
Are there not German vampires?
Yes, but not true vampires, so they couldn't be out in the sunlight. They
Yeah, there
would
was probably
shrivel away
vampire.
immediately.
We don't know that. There could be different sects.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
we
I'm
got male
fairly
and female.
confident. I'm fairly confident that I know all about sex.
Can you teach me?
No.
Okay.
I'm afraid this is something you will have to discover for yourself.
That's the answer that I wanted to hear. Thank you for not being a creepy preacher. And I turned to walk in the direction of the gardens.
I'm neither a priest nor a doctor.
How am I supposed to know what you are?
Well, obviously you're not. He follows you, but he's sort of looking like a gloomy spider.
Who's got poison intelligence or anything like that?
Yes, I have points in intelligence.
Okay.
Just
I have
one.
lots.
Okay. Just roll intelligence, that's it.
That's an 8.
Okay, so it dawns on both of you that you still have the folded piece of paper that came in the care package that you haven't read yet.
Oh,
So,
since it just dawned on me that I have this folded piece of paper, I pull it out and begin to read.
medical report, date redacted, location redacted, Dr. Walter Keel overseeing.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Keel. Ah, that's who they were mentioning when they said Keely. How curious. I read on.
It was obvious immediately what her problem was, and the idea of hiring someone as expensive as me was rather pointless. But here it is nonetheless. I will write out my findings for those curious. Subject was forcibly impregnated approximately 4 months, 3/4 months ago.
Oh, it does sound like Mr. Keel, ever the euphemistic individual.
Subject had been violated recently. Subject's embryo had been forcibly removed with a metal object. What is
A rather
remarkable,
extreme abortion.
detestable really, but what was extraordinary to me was the lack of damage to the actual female. Subject's reproductive organs were actually left mostly intact. It is the hypothesis of this doctor, and in brackets he's written, and of course I am correct, that she will be within birthing parameters once again in about 3 weeks' time. End report.
Like, ability to get pregnant again? Or is she just gonna spawn babies?
With Walter Keel, who can say? It could be both.
It wasn't specific. Maybe she's like a bug lady.
Mr. Taggart, Your imagination does go odd places, doesn't it?
It helps us solve cases sometimes.
I can not recall any specific instance.
I got very excited because there's a bug.
It's like a dragonfly. It
Nice.
lands on your shoulder. Do you want to roll maybe like a charisma thingy? To see.
Yeah. I guess persuade.
Yeah, persuade is fine. Yeah. See how forthcoming he is, Mr. Dragonfly.
That's a 5 and a 2.
Okay.
Mr. Dragonfly.
Hello, Mr. Dragonfly.
Friend.
Yes, very much so.
Smell on the wind.
In which direction?
And he turns like he's like
Yes.
a winter vein. You're already in the garden, so he kind of points like northeast to one side of it and the other side of the fountain. Can you not smell it, friend?
I can't, but if I get closer, I might be able to.
Smells rot, death,
Can
decay.
you guide us, or are you gonna leave in a second to go get food?
No mosquitoes here. Flies away.
Oh, I see you made a friend, Mr. Taggart. Did he have anything interesting to say?
When I do that, can you understand what I'm saying?
I can understand that you're saying something.
Curious. Either way, and I go an angle and point like directly like the dragonfly did, like a weather vane, and I go that direction, rot, death. No mosquitoes. That's unfortunate for him.
Interesting. Molten death and no mosquitoes. Well, that does inform us of something. I suppose we should head over in that direction. Goodman Gray begins to walk in that direction,
Right.
but he does so slowly and with some apprehension in
okay.
his step.
Let's do
He is not a action fellow.
awareness.
Awareness, already.
I got a point in that.
I do too.
That's a 5.
I have an 8 and a 6.
Okay. Gray, as you walk through, this is probably turnips or potatoes, something like a root vegetable, because you can see the mounds underneath the plants that are starting to come up. And one of the areas along this row is not...
Reminds me, I haven't had a stew in a long time. Seems to me that I used to, every time I had a meal, have a stew.
So they have, you can see in the mounds of traffic, but there's one sort of lump along this one row that's not the same shape as the others.
Oh, don't
and
do this to me.
it doesn't have like a plant coming out of it.
Curious. This doesn't look like a very healthy vegetable. It has
Now, is this
no
on
greenery.
the way?
No, like, yes. You're in. You've passed. You were going the direction the dragonfly showed
Okay.
you. You came
And
across
here
sort
it
of like
is.
rows
This
of
might well
turnips,
be.
and you've come to a little mound in the. It's about yay big, like the size of a small loaf of bread, kind of thing.
So, I presume that my awareness roll was enough that I noticed it.
Yes.
Now, this doesn't seem like a very healthy vegetable. There's
And
no
I trip over
greenery. Oh, Mr. Taggart.
And I fall flat on my face onto a turnip.
Oh, how painful
What?
looking. I suppose you're okay, though.
What did I trip over?
The dirt. You loosen the dirt.
Only
and
one way to find out.
Oh boy. You loosen the dirt and see what looks like a tiny human foot.
Oh,
This is a shallow grave.
oh dear. I suppose it would marginally improve the fertilization of this area. Still, how dishonorable. Brush some more of the dirt away.
Don't uncover
Brush
it.
it
I
with my
don't need
hands.
this. I can't speak to the dead. Not yet.
Is it in fact a fetus?
Sadly-
a small dead
sadly-
child?
Sadly, it is an infant that saw its full term.
Really?
Yes.
Oh dear. That's not what I expected at all. I understood that the child was killed in process, as it were. And yet here we have a literal dead baby. How much of the baby is left? Like, is it still fully enfleshed? Has it rotted away? Are we looking at lots of rigor mortis, or are we looking at a skeleton?
No, it's been here for a while.
Been here for how long, roughly? I do not have any
Is-
points in medicine.
Is there a medicine
roll
check?
for
There
it.
is. I can
Yeah.
roll for
Just
intelligence.
intelligence?
Straight intelligence. 9.
Wow. A few weeks.
Then I suppose there's no chance of me recognizing whose features it might share.
Would it be weird if you healed it?
I'm afraid it doesn't work on the long deceased.
Are you sure?
Yes, very.
Okay.
Psst.
I'm afraid this corpse is cold.
Men from the door. Over here.
I look around to see the source of the voice.
There's an elderly lady who has sort of tiptoed her way to the edge of the garden from the direction of the workers' houses. She looks like she's panting with breath, like she must have run across the field or something, which is pretty impressive. You probably gauge she's probably in her 60s. Maybe
And as I
even
hear her cover
60s.
up the baby as best as I can and pretend I never saw it.
I give them assistance and then walk over to the woman who's called to us. Yes, my dear. What can we do to help you?
You are the men from the tower.
Yes, we
Oh,
are.
that is what that is. Yeah.
You notice she is not wearing sunglasses.
No.
And if, well, actually, you can decide whether you want to look in her eyes or not. So,
Left ear.
okay. So,
I'm staring at the plot of grass. or the dirt.
She looks from face to face, and when you make it obvious you're not making eye contact, she just kind of says again, I was Flora's nursemaid. I raised her from a small child. Her parents, they are beasts. Monsters,
Oh dear.
just like the security forces.
I look up at beasts, but I have a propensity to look at lips.
Right.
Because that's the thing that's moving. Why would you not want to look at that?
Yeah.
So,
They are monsters. So are most of the people here. They have been changed.
I see that you're not wearing sunglasses, my dear. What is the story behind the sunglasses? Is it related to there being monsters?
are you a Gorgon?
She stares up at the sun. The sun cannot damage me. I cannot see.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're blind then.
Yes. Have been for the last 27 years.
How did you find us then?
I heard you.
I
That
see
checks out.
you've become skillful in your blindness. I congratulate you, although perhaps you would like to discuss what could be done about that.
It is not my skill alone. This estate, it has powers. Powers that you were probably not fully informed of. Indeed, maybe did not even know.
Please, speak on.
They wear the sunglasses to hide what they do not have. He requires something. And the eyes, always the eyes, they are the first thing to go.
Oh, how curious. There was another case of eyes being an entry point for something rather hideous that we have encountered not so long ago.
I wasn't on that job. I heard about it on the deep web.
YouTube Red.
Yeah, it was the original series.
I listened to the podcast.
I cannot stay out here alone. They do not like me leaving.
What capacity do you serve? You said you were the child's nursemaid.
I was, yes, until she turned 18. Now I am just a friend, companion.
I see.
She's not allowed to leave the estate. No, she cannot leave the estate. No one can.
Where is she currently then, if that's the case?
Yes, that is what I wanted to tell you. She's in the guest house. There is a laundry chute in the third room of the second floor. We used to play hide and go seek there. She thought she was so clever, but I was there when they built the building. I am one of the few people here that know of the existence of that chute. It is no longer used. The security forces, they will not think of looking there. It is too small for her, or so they think. But she is flexible. She is probably hiding there even now, waiting for me. But they have forbidden me from entering the guest house.
And why do you think that is?
Because I know how to get her out of here.
You know how to allow her to escape the estate, which you say she can never leave.
Yes.
Why did they remove the baby?
You know about that.
I mean, I just kind of... It's part of the job.
And there seems to be that there was perhaps more than one baby
The eyes
who
are
has
not.
died.
The eyes are not the only thing that he asks.
Is he different from the man of the house?
Once upon a time, yes, but they are becoming more and more similar.
Interesting. Who is the he that you're speaking of?
I cannot.
I understand.
Can you write it down?
Marcia, what are you doing here? And another man, which you didn't even hear approach, holding like a pitchfork in his hand, come up. He's wearing like outdoorsy clothes. Got covered in he's like covered in dirt, whatever. He's also wearing the sunglasses the others have.
Oh, hello, good sir.
This
I'm
is
afraid that we were rather lost in these expansive estates. It was so kind of Fräulein here to guide us through this beautiful garden.
That is very kind of her. But Fräulein needs to get back to the work building. There is much to do, right? He sort of takes her by the wrist.
Don't be too rough. It was
please.
our...
Mistake.
It's an official investigation. We're helping find. We
Yes,
needed a
official
hand.
investigation. Let's go. And he sort of walks her away, and she kind of like reluctantly goes with her, but turns back to you a few times.
Oh, before you go,
Mm-hmm.
Hare, I noticed that you're limping a little.
I am not limping.
Oh, but you are. You seem to have rather distasteful enlargement of one of your shin areas. I think the ankle as well. It looks like you're rather damaged, honestly. I'm a doctor. I would know these things. In fact, it seems to me like it might go all the way up to your hip. I don't suppose you would allow me a moment to investigate and make sure that you're not going to be infected by something.
Well, it's a childhood injury. There is nothing you can do. Doctor or no doctor?
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, if you're absolutely certain, then I won't interfere, but I'm sure I could help you.
I do not have time. The rutabagas need to be tended to.
Oh, well, rutabagas can wait, but human suffering, it's quite another thing.
Human suffering is a small price to pay.
If you say so.
He leaves.
You might need to not do that now, just in case I get stabbed by that thing soon.
Well, it was rather something different that I had in mind, but let's not discuss it. It's a personal sort of thing.
Sometimes you frighten me more than the jobs that we go on.
He looks mildly wounded. I'm sorry to hear you say that, Mr. Taggart. I hope that we can become much better friends.
I don't know if I'm the only one that gets worried about those statements you say.
The game master goes, oh.
Well, I understand that I'm not the most personable of souls, but I'm hoping that we can all close ranks and draw much closer to one another before all is said and done.
I'm in it for the money, bro. And I take off. I take off for the workers' house.
The workers' house or the guest house?
That is fair. We all have our own agendas.
Because the nursemaids say that she's probably hiding in the guest house.
Right, and if she's hidden and the workers don't know that she's there, we can still do some more investigation before we can go and pick her up.
Okay.
Maybe find a way to distract them or do something else in order to get down there without having any problems to get in there. Like, or maybe stumbling upon us while we're trying to get down to where she is.
Miss Goodman Gray is fine with this approach.
Okay.
He doesn't mind spending a few more minutes on the workers' house.
Enter the workers' house. You see a couple of the guys dressed in the grey security uniform sort of leaning up against one of the buildings smoking as you approach. And you can see some hustle bustles like maids and butlers kind of coming in and out. Some of them are heading towards the mansion. Others are coming back from the mansion carrying like bed sheets and things like that.
I suspect this will be mostly on you, Mr. Taggart, as my German is sadly lacking. Why don't you ask away?
Sprechen Sie English?
9.
Who is in charge of this? And I do the circle motion with my hand, not...
It's the building? Oh. So that would be, Marcel Rothmeyer, his head butler.
Well, we're doing a investigation for the to find the
Yes, we know who you are,
Okay.
Mr. Taggart.
I don't know for your life. Can we come in, or does he have to come out to us? We'd like to speak to, I guess, him.
You can go in. He's in the main room, doing dishes.
Danke. And the main room, he's doing dishes.
Ah, well then let us go bother him briefly.
Does he speak English before?
So.
No.
You translate that anyway?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Taggart. I got that part.
So you go inside. When he said doing dishes, you might have assumed he was washing them, but he's doing more of a bouquet
Pottery?
arrangement.
Oh.
He's got a whole bunch of fancy dishes in like a buffet cabinet, and he's kind of sitting there like pondering where to put the plates. Does not look like a guy who's in the midst of looking for a missing rich man's daughter at all. He puts one plate up on a stand. He goes 9. And takes
So
it
this is a
back
situation
down.
where it's more keeping up appearances than worrying about anything else.
Good day there, friends.
Oh, and he kind of pushes the dishes over to one side. Guten Tag.
I understand that you have a level of proficiency in English.
Yes.
If German
English.
is preferable, I can do that instead.
No, speak English fine.
Oh, good. How much success have you had in your search?
Success. No success.
No success. Oh dear. I can see that you're so hard at work at it.
Yes, the dishes. Shrugs. Yes, hard work.
Hmm.
Been at it all day long.
Oh dear. And still no success.
No.
And the daughter?
The daughter.
You found her then. That's why you're able to attend to the dishes.
Oh, she is still missing.
She's still missing.
Hmm.
Oh, how terrible. You must be very distressed.
Yes, it is a sorrow for all of the Van Haugen estate.
Oh yes, I can see that. And so you've turned to sorting these dishes as a way to console yourself.
Well, we are expecting company tonight.
Expecting company? To celebrate the daughter's successful return, no doubt.
Exactly.
As who is it that you're expecting to celebrate with?
Very, very important person.
Oh, no doubt, a very important person. How could it be otherwise?
Yes.
And he'd no doubt be very disappointed not to find the daughter waiting for him.
Yes.
Because otherwise, why has he come all this way? In fact, it's quite amazing that he had plans to come here anyways, before I presume he knew that she was missing, only to celebrate something that he didn't know about.
They called in the tour in order to do the job, so they have the utmost expectations that we would get it done post-haste.
I have no doubt, but still surprising that he was able to make such quick plans, since she's only been gone 36 hours.
He is...
Being such an important personage and all.
He is very well informed.
I have no doubt of it. Am I right in feeling that he would be extremely upset should the daughter not be found?
Yes, most upset. But
Most upset.
I cannot... And he adjusts his sunglasses. You notice, if you hadn't noticed, that everyone in the building is also wearing the sunglasses indoors. Yes, most upset, but I cannot worry about that right now. I
Where is
haven't
he
been given
traveling in from?
Well, he is already here, and yet not.
This is some kind of multi-dimensional bullshit.
I did not catch the last word.
Don't worry about
Mr.
it.
Taggart is prone to these outbursts, so pay him no mind. So, given that he is in fact already here, are you not a little bit behind in sorting the dishes out?
Oh, well, kind of, yes.
Well then, we ought to let you get back to your work.
Really, yes.
Mm.
Very busy,
Oh.
busy.
One last question before we go. I noticed your sunglasses are broken.
He reaches for and then as soon as he realizes they're not, he regains his composure and goes, haha, joke,
Yes,
Joke.
very funny.
joke.
The funniest thing being how upset you were at the possibility. Have a wonderful day.
He goes back to arranging the dishes randomly.
Mm.
You speak any language besides English?
Yes, I do. Let's head out, shall we?
That's not what I wanted.
He goes back to sort of arranging the dishes. Do you leave the building or do you stay? You leave? Okay. The security guys now have...
Mr. Taggart, why don't you take a quick look around? I'll just be outside.
Is there an upstairs?
Yes.
I'll go upstairs.
Okay. There's like a staircase that splits, and you can see there's a few rooms up at the top. So most of the doors are open. You can hear people like gathering sheets or something or whatever. So a couple people maybe like you hear the clang of spoons. Maybe they're eating lunch or whatever. So
can I roll? I guess awareness to see if I can catch anything potentially more out of the ordinary than I would expect.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
That's a 3.
Nope. Everything seems honky-dory to you.
Everything is great.
There's only, like, living quarters upstairs?
Yeah, the living quarters, exactly.
Okay.
Some of the doors are open. You can see people, like, are indeed, or they're having a nap or
Is
something.
there an attic?
No. Not that you can find.
And when you open the door, close it, and open it again, I assume you see the same room inside.
Yes. Yes. The ship is below you.
Is there a basement?
Yes. There's a basement.
I want to head to the basement.
Door's locked.
Oh, I go over to the butler. Excuse me.
Yes?
I apologize. Can you open the basement? It's part of the investigation.
You want to go to the basement?
It's complicated. We have to be thorough.
I have to ask my master and mistress first.
You never know what is, who could be down there or hiding. Or
It is fine. They have said okay.
That's a little much.
And he reaches over the door and turns it and opens it.
Can you keep the door open for one moment? Just don't. I just need to grab my compatriot.
He looks up again. They will leave it open for a few minutes.
And I go outside. Have you left, or
No, I'm just standing outside with the guard there, looking out into the middle distance as though I were thinking about something.
We had to get permission from the lord and the lady of the house in order to go to the basement.
Some sort of telepathic messaging.
I'm a little weirded out, but we can go down because the door will be open for, apparently, a few minutes. So if we're going to do any investigation, we need to go down and get back up pretty fast.
What is it looking like from the stairwell?
I didn't take a look. I thought to grab you so I don't die alone.
Well, let's not die together either.
You can heal me. It's fine. I won't die.
Okay. May I understand that as explicit permission, in case you are incapacitated?
Oh, gee. Yeah.
Excellent. Let's continue on then. There's nothing to worry about.
That scream was supposed to be internal. I apologize.
Don't worry. I hear it more often than you might imagine.
Don't do this to me.
Goodman Gray heads back in.
Okay.
With Mr. Taggart tagging along.
You have about a minute and a half.
Can you lengthen that to 5?
He looks up. You have 3. 3 minutes.
I'll deal with that. Are there lights? No electricity? Candles?
Lights.
Gray simply
Face.
heads to the door, which is open, and looks down the stairwell. What am I seeing?
The place reeks downstairs. Decay. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Things that are rotting.
Yeah. Puking inducing if you're that kind of person.
Meat rotting or vegetables rotting or both?
Both.
Yeah. It seems like your cellar is not in the best of condition.
Cellar? No, this is offering room.
Offering room? And who will be offering things to in this room?
Well, when he comes to visit, he demands things.
But I didn't ask what he did, but rather who he was. No matter. I'm sure that the offering room will offer us some clue.
You now have 2.5 minutes, then I seal the door.
Do we still want to go downstairs since we know that this is already the offering room?
Now, of course, we must.
Oh.
And Gray heads down.
Okay.
As the lanky spider fellow that he is, has to duck.
Yeah.
I follow.
As you continue down the stairs, he shouts down weakly, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Then I seal the door.
Thank you very much.
It's dark.
There are no lights down here, so you're kind of stumbling around like someone where the power has gone out, kind of
Are
thing.
there lights on our PDAs?
Yeah. Like
Screens must be backlit, right?
Backlit, yeah. So
Yeah.
Hold up
all
our
that
little
you have.
devices.
So there are like burlap sacks, obviously filled with like rotten vegetables, potatoes and carrots and that kind of thing. Some of the sacks have been sort of opened or have like torn on the edges from wear, and they are just covered in moss and there's fungus everywhere.
Don't breathe in too deeply.
How big is this basement?
Huge.
Not enough to do any investigation while we're...
And your light is too weak to see more than a couple feet ahead of you.
Blood?
Everywhere. Staining the ground. And if you care to look up a little bit, you can see why. There are metal spikes all dotting all over the cellar, and there are people impaled on the spikes, like Vlad the Impaler style.
How interesting. I wonder, some sort of Tepes ritual or a shrike? Shrine.
We probably have less than 2 minutes. I want to go.
That would make good sense, but I'm hoping to find the shrine itself.
No,
They usually have some sort of...
we don't have a lot of
Word
time.
written
We
on
have to
that.
go.
Do you have any
have I
points of
managed to-
arcane?
I do.
Okay, can
I
you
do
roll
too!
arcane? You can roll arcane if you wish as well.
That's a 2!
6 and a 4.
Unfortunately, you don't find anything shrine-worthy.
Oh dear.
Not in the sort of time management that you have.
Shame. But I think we should head back up just to be safe at this point.
Yes. Please.
I pocket my PDA and head
Double
back
time
up
the stairs after I put my stuff away.
Goodman Gray doesn't run, but he has a long stride.
As you make it up the last couple stairs, you can actually hear the butler saying 5, 4, 3. Gentlemen.
And what would you have done if we hadn't been back up in time?
My lord and lady said that we had to close, and he closes the basement.
We would have
Door.
become offerings,
Oh.
most likely.
I feel like our employers would have been upset with you.
Perhaps. It's just the basement.
Well, of course.
And he goes back to arranging his dishes.
I believe that the guest house is the only one remaining on our list.
Yes.
Let's head there, shall we?
Sounds good.
Goodman Gray heads in the direction of the guest house without casting a single glance back.
As we're heading in that... Oh, unless you're going to say something.
I was just going to say, I would say about this time, it's about 4 o'clock now in the afternoon. Just sheer distance travel.
We're heading in that direction. I scope around to see if there's anybody around us.
Like I said, there's the couple of wandering search parties.
Within
that
like
went
earshot of like regular standard conversations, but
Not
we'll talk a
really
little low. Well, lower than. So, the job is specifically to find the girl. It's not to be a good guy. Moral relativity is not exactly what this job entails, but technically we know where the girl is, so the job is finished.
But we haven't, one, determined if she's actually there. We have merely the suspicions of a blind old nursemaid. And second, it's not entirely clear whether or not finding her for the client in question is the thing that we should do.
Should do and get paid for are two different things, and we don't want to anger probably some weird elder god.
You're not wrong about that. But let us first find the girl and then decide what to do with her, if we find her. I think perhaps her side of the story would be most illuminating.
It's your paycheck.
Money is useful, but it is only a tool like so many other things.
We could just die.
Goodman Gray looks up for a moment, looks back down. This is a possibility.
As you approach the guest house, same sort of idea. There's a couple of security guards kind of just casually leaning against the wall. Hello. You guys must be from the tower.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you for the greeting. We're just going to take a look in the guest house, just to check off all the boxes.
Be
as
my
it were.
guest. We've already done a sweep of the guest house. Nothing. She vanished into thin air.
Thin being the operative word, I imagine. Thank you very much.
I get it.
I open the door.
Right.
Allow Mr. Taggart to follow me and then
shut it firmly behind me.
There's a couple. There's I don't want to say a couple. Literally, there's 2 security guys kind of just wandering around. They don't really seem to be going anywhere. One guy's just kind of pacing. The other guy's leaning up against the stair rail on the second floor, just kind of looking over.
Excuse me, gentlemen, if I could have your attention, both of you, for a moment. I'm afraid that the next step in the investigation is to engage in something rather desultory, a ritual of sorts. You could remain in the house with us while we perform it in order to be sure that we have the necessary blood and flesh. But I feel like you might prefer to remain outside for your own sake.
They both adjust their sunglasses and stare at you for a second, and they frown. And then they leave.
Now I'm gonna have to give more blood and flesh.
I pull the door shut behind them. Mr. Taggart, he was merely a ploy.
That was the joke.
Yes, very good, Mr. Taggart.
You could just heal me if I have to give blood anyway.
Oh, Mr.
Blood,
Taggart,
continue to give.
your faith in my abilities is most gratifying.
It's not faith, I just don't want to die yet.
Oh, why is that, Mr. Taggart?
I have too much to do.
Of course. I'm sure that your life is full of events, and as you probably have a hopping social life to attend to once we return.
I get mad pussy, yo.
I wasn't aware that you could talk to crazy cats, but that is okay.
Yes, cats all the time. Cats all the time. I run an Instagram account.
What is Instagram?
It's like that thing where you take the contacts and put them in your eye, but it's on a phone and it has pictures on it.
Oh,
I'm making fun of you.
I got that.
Did you?
Yes, I did, Mr. Taggart.
Are you too old to understand
He
this?
stabs you. Okay.
We don't have a name.
With his earpiece.
On the contrary, I think I'm just old enough to know when I'm being made fun of. Don't worry, Mr. Taggart, I won't hold it against you if and when you need healing.
I've already given you the permission, so I don't think you have to really ask.
No, I don't have to ask, but it's no guarantee you understand. And he heads on in.
You should probably disturb me more.
Do you,
I say to myself in an empty room.
do you follow to the room that the nursemaid suggested?
No, first I head upstairs,
Okay.
take a look around, just try to get a
No.
sense of what the house is like.
There wouldn't be downstairs because that would be the laundry chute.
This house, unlike the worker house, which was very odd, strikes you as sort of a bed and breakfast kind of vibe. Anyways, the main hall where the security guards were kind of lounging around is kind of like where people would eat breakfast in the morning kind of thing, the communal area, like a little kitchen, like wood stove kind of thing. And then the rooms are all kind of quaint. If you look in any of them, they have, like a simple bed, like small but comfortable, a carpet and area. So.
Okay. Head to the laundry chute.
I go upstairs. Is there a bathroom there?
No.
I'm gonna look for a bathroom.
Okay.
Okay, roll arcane. No, I'm joking.
That makes good sense.
That's a 3.
Didn't find
I
it.
do not find a bathroom.
Man.
That
on your
was
bladder.
1 die, challenge 10.
What are you rolling
If
for?
it is arcane, gotta find out about. Oh no.
Botch.
That's a 1 and a was that a 10?
No, the 0 is
Oh, okay,
uncancelable.
that's right, it's uncancelable.
So it's
okay.
1. That's a 10.
You find a bathroom, and there's one in Vienna.
Don't worry, you just head about 400 kilometers that way.
By helicopter.
As the crow flies.
There's a bush outside. So you
That's the
open
communal bush.
you can kind of hear like breathing.
Wow, it really stinks in this part. Oh my god. 47 people, 1 bush.
You open the chute, like as you open the chute, you can hear sort of breathing from sort of slightly below you. Who are you?
We're from an organization called the Tor. We were tasked with finding you.
How small is the chute?
Like a little kid could fit inside. She must be really uncomfortable. So.
Alright, I was gonna say, because if they're just shooting, I can go down there. He's skinny, but like...
Not small, child skinny.
No.
Mm.
So you are not the security.
No, we are not directly aligned with your parents.
You want to bring me back to them, though.
That is the general idea, although we are open to persuasion otherwise.
Then you should just kill me.
Why would I need to do that?
If they find me again, they will do it again.
Impregnate you. Forcibly.
How did you know?
Oh, I'm afraid that there have been a number of hints dropped. And dead babies found.
There is...
I'm so sorry,
No,
my
I'm still
dear.
looking for a bathroom.
You've clearly suffered terribly. But tell me why.
For exercises, I guess.
Exercising? I'm not sure I understand your meaning.
My parents, they are older than they look. They, at the end of the World War, they were, their land was restored. They were a wealthy family in Austria. We took back this land and some land of people who did not survive.
I understand.
My parents, they saw some terrible things, and they did not wish to leave this world, if you understand.
I see. And so they've made some sort of pact.
Yes, with the creature.
Ah dear. And this pact, I take it, involves the sacrifice of infants.
It didn't start like that. It only asked for small things. Fingertips. Eyeballs. Perfect loyalty. Then it encapsulated us, trapped us in the acreage, and demanded more substantial things.
Oh dear. And I suppose this is where your sad story enters in. Have they deprived you of your eyeballs as well, my dear?
No, they have not.
I'm pleased to hear that. So you still have your natural sight.
And she starts to climb back up, rather struggled. And she kind of makes her way sort of like a raccoon peeking over a fence kind of thing. She blinks at you.
I dare to make eye contact.
And she kind of squints like your gaze hurts or something.
Well, the light difference would be a lot there too.
Yeah. I see. They cannot see you.
Yes, I suspect that the organization we work for made plans on our behalf.
Your organization may have predicted their powers, but I do not believe that you can leave the premises any more than I can. Not until the talisman is destroyed.
I don't doubt that you're correct. Otherwise, the owners of this place would not have felt so free in letting us have the run of the place and discover their dark secrets. They do not expect us to live out the night, I imagine.
No, I am sure they would have killed you as soon as you had reported where I was.
I suspect so too. Sadly, mercenaries get this sort of treatment on a fairly regular basis. I have been at this for a while.
Luckily though, and she's now sort of made her way up so that her, like, she's got sort of her chest out, and she continues to wiggle out. Luckily though, you are well armed and able to destroy them, and the creature.
I give her a sad, slow sort of smile. Oh, my dear, that is not at all where my particular talents lie, I'm afraid.
Oh.
And Mr. Taggart is a good man with an insect, but otherwise I think not capable of the sort of mayhem that you expect or desire.
Then we must be cautious, for the talisman is inside the mansion, and it is the only way we are leaving.
And thus did they forbid us entry. But with you on our side, my dear, perhaps we can go directly to it.
I know where it is.
Excellent.
So then, my dear, we must simply consider how we might secret you along with us, such that you can guide us to the talisman, and we can keep you safe in the meantime.
I'll come back to you in a second. As you continue to sort of wander around the pavilion...
Go back upstairs and then back downstairs again.
Roll awareness.
That's a 10 for me!
Okay.
Good job, new boy.
Someone goes to like grab your shoulder, but you hear them sort of step forward and manage to sidestep him. I think you've been here long enough. Time to leave the house. Search outside, maybe.
Oh, lead the way.
Okay, let's go. He begins to walk down the stairs.
I'm not sure where my compatriot is. I can give him a call when we're outside so that the reception might be a little better. It's a little buggy when I'm in a abode.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. You can call him when you're outside. And he continues towards the door and opens it. Come.
After you.
And okay, so he walks outside but leaves the door open. And
I do follow immediately and close behind me.
Okay. He pulls out a knife and goes to try and stab you.
Oh, that's fun.
So, roll...
Finesse.
Finesse. So finesse? No, I thought that was the PvE one.
Agility?
He wants agility.
Oh, agility, sorry.
Ooh, that's
You're
2.
right.
That's an 8 and a 3.
That's good. He misses. And because he's made sort of the guy's obviously not a fighter. He's made sort of a lousy lunge, you know. He's kind of like...
Off balance.
Off balance.
Is it only that one guy?
Yeah. Everyone else is wandered off somewhere else.
Okay. I'm going to run behind the house and radio you at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Taggart.
I'm running very fast. Please don't let the girl leave the house and come out. They don't know where you currently are. And there's a guy with a knife.
Ah, I see. Are you okay, Mr. Taggart?
No, there's a guy with a knife.
Ah, well, why don't you try and lead him to us, and we'll deal with him together.
Don't let the girl out of the house.
That is my plan. At the moment, anyways.
I'm running behind the house. Hi!
Hello, Mr. Taggart.
She's like, what's wrong, Mr. Gray?
I believe that my compatriot is experiencing some slight difficulties at the moment, but I expect that we'll have them resolved shortly.
We need to go.
Why do you say that, my dear?
Someone will have heard the struggle outside.
Oh, where would you like to go?
We need to get to the mansion now. Otherwise they'll come. They'll have heard the struggle outside. They can always hear.
Who is they?
Felix and Alexandra von Haugen.
Ah, your parents?
She looks down. No, not actually.
I see. Well then, my dear, let us go out the back way.
She scurries out of the room and comes. She's like in bare feet, like she's sort of like in like a nightgown kind of thing.
And is she in fact quite small?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's like, what, 5 foot nothing?
Yeah.
Maybe 90 pounds soaking wet?
Yeah. She scurries down the stairs. Come on.
I'm coming.
And she leads her out the back door.
Do I happen to see Mr. Taggart and his knife-wielding assailant running past us as we go out the back?
Yes. Three more people have inexplicably joined him now, though. And they're holding like pitchforks.
Okay, so as the knife-wielding fiend runs past, then do I have the opportunity to trip him up?
Yes.
All right, I'll make
Open the door in his face. Make it like that Home Alone 2 situation.
Make a precision attack, then.
And you roll agility. Did you beat me? Because I got 1 success.
I've also got 1 success.
But you got a bodge.
Yeah. But there's still a 2 in there.
What did you have? What were your numbers?
I had a 6, a 2, and a 1.
6, a 2, and a 1. Yeah, okay.
Bad rolls.
Yeah, so no, you don't get them. So.
Alright, then as soon as the first pitchfork-wielding fellow comes my way, I'll try and do the same and hook behind his knee.
Right, okay.
That's better. 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, this time you get him. He falls over.
Onto his pitchfork.
Thank you. I don't think you need this. Take the pitchfork, stab him through the throat.
He turns to ash.
Oh, interesting reaction.
Is this one of these things?
I turn to the two other fellows who were following with pitchforks. Are they still coming on?
They've stopped, and they've taken their sunglasses off.
Oh, that's not fashionable at all. Empty holes are not in fashion this season, my friends.
And the empty holes begin to light up with like a red glow.
I'm sure that would be very intimidating, but I've got my gaze firmly on your left ear, so I can't see anything your eyes are doing.
I'm just running still, like around the house. I'm running around the house. So at this point, I can come up behind him and go and whack a guy.
Sure, go ahead. Whack a guy.
Whack a guy.
They're obviously expecting something to happen because of the glow, so they keep staring at you, kind of befuddled.
I stab another in the throat with a pitchfork.
He dissolves.
I think you're going to need to try
What do I
harder.
use?
Medicine.
Okay, fine. No, I'll just say, hey, turn around.
Huh?
Well done, Mr. Taggart.
I tried my best. And did they have pitchforks?
Yeah, they all had pitchforks.
I
There's
picked
still
up-
the one knife-wielding guy.
Yeah,
he's behind
He's
me.
on the ground. He's the guy who tripped, right? Oh, no, that's right. He's the one that...
So he should still be chasing him.
He stopped.
I pick up one of the. Actually, I pick up both pitchforks.
I saw that.
I throw a pitchfork at him.
Good throw, Mr. Taggart. Have you practiced?
It wasn't even very hard, and I hit him with the back of it.
I feel like they're not held together very well.
Come, they will be back in an hour. We must go to the mansion.
Back
That's
in an
some kind
hour.
of-
Huh. Curious.
The staff here are immortal. They rebuild if they are destroyed.
Even if you do this, and I brush my foot through the ashes and kick it to the wind.
And the ash returns to the pile on the ground.
Oh my, how interesting. I wonder how it works.
Let's not worry about that and stop wasting.
Come to the mansion. Come on.
All right, my dear. Gray doesn't run, but he does have a really long stride.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hide my pitchfork somehow.
A couple
He's
of the
just holding his pitchfork
couple
on
of the
his shoulder.
security guys see you from across the field, and guns materialize in their hands, and they start taking pot shots as you run across or stride across. So I'm just gonna roll, and we'll just see if people
Agility?
like randomly. First I'm gonna roll to see if they even get towards you because they're way off and they're just firing.
Sure.
What kind of
They're not
guns?
marksmen,
Like
just regular like bolt action
flintlock?
rifles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one for you, one for you. So yeah, please roll finesse.
Finesse.
Yeah.
All right, same number of dice.
That's a 5.
Got a 7 and a 6.
Okay, Whew, right past you. You get hit.
Ow.
3 damage.
Oh, that's a lot.
Is a bullet.
Yeah.
Did just take a bullet.
Oh, Mr. Taggart, are you alright?
No.
Most people with bullets in them are not all right.
One of the bullets hits her in the shoulder and bounces off.
Oh my dear,
Can I have
you
that
seem to
instead?
have a interesting ability there.
I am warded against physical damage.
Can I have that
They
instead?
can't allow their trophy to be harmed.
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose there's still some advantage to that. Let us move on.
They come to the door. One of you will have to prick your finger and run the blood along the door to open it.
I just get my hand on my shoulder and just.
Good thinking, Mr. Taggart. Good use of available materials.
It hurts a lot. Did it go right through?
She
No,
runs.
it didn't. I can put my ow.
She runs you into the parlor, and there's a large fireplace that's going, like moose deer heads, kind of on the thing, you
Yes.
know. And in front of the fireplace, Mr. and Mrs. Van Haugen turn on a dime and approach you. Their sunglasses are off,
No, stay in front of the fireplace. That's important.
and there's a purplish glow from their eyes as and the smoke emanates from the holes.
That'd
She,
be really interesting.
Mrs. Van
if I knew
Haugen
how to do that.
curtsies. Ah, you have found a daughter. This is a wonderful reunion.
I'm afraid that we've failed to find your daughter, as this woman has reliably informed me that you're not really her parents.
Then she has said too much. She is obviously upset.
So then, what's the job even at this point?
I think the job at this point is surviving. Since, am I wrong, but you intended to destroy us all along?
We do not want to destroy you. He wants to destroy you.
Ah, well, I take objection with anyone destroying anyone, really. But me in particular. Mr. Taggart here is also off limits.
He will have to forgive me. You may not be fully intact by the time he arrives. I want your initiative.
Hey, that's 16.
16.
12.
Okay. Mr. Van Helden.
He goes first?
No, he's rolling initiative.
Oh. I was gonna say, how many dice does he get?
That's a lot of dice.
Oh my god!
We're in trouble.
Oh my god! That's 3 10s!
Yeah, he's going first.
He is going super
Jesus.
first. Who was the one who only got 2 successes?
Oh, this one?
Mrs.
That's Mrs. Van Helden.
Oh, okay.
And then Flora needs to roll initiative.
Come on, Flora. Okay, well, it's better than I got.
God. I'm third.
I'm in a good position to heal whoever is
Okay,
dead.
so I'm going to let her go first, because she has higher dexterity than you do. So, Mr.
So I got 3?
So, Mr., Flora, Taggart, Mrs., and then Gray.
I'm
Mr. Van,
speaking in German, it helps.
Mr. Van Hougen chants something indecipherable and...
Completely in his sight? Oh, it's not a human language.
No,
Okay.
not human language. And
Esperanto.
and 2 skeletons appear in the room, wielding swords.
I'm not equipped to deal with this.
Oh, classic.
They chatter at you.
Nicely done.
How do
You
those
don't get the classic showing up
How
these
do
days.
those work when there's no muscle or anything connected to the bones?
Magic, Mr. Taggart.
That doesn't make sense. How do they move?
Flora's turn. She cradles both her hands together for a moment, and there's a breeze appears in the room, enough to sort of blow your clothes and your hair to one side. And it's as if the wind gathers around her hands that she cups, until you can almost sort of see a shimmering ball in her hands, as she tosses it at one of the skeletons, and the skeleton shatters.
Oh, my dear. You're a more talented mage than you led us to believe.
Can I do that?
I don't know. Do you know blood magic, Mr. Taggart?
You can teach me.
Your turn.
Okay, so we're in like a main.
Yeah, you're in like a den.
Okay.
There's a fireplace going, like a real one. There's like
a skeleton.
There's a skeleton with a sword.
A lady.
There's
and
a lady.
And a dangerous
Creepy lady
man.
and an extremely dangerous blood sorcerer.
The skeletons are standing between us then?
Yeah.
Okay.
He put them in front of the 2 of them.
Is there a chandelier?
Yes.
Is he standing conveniently under it?
No.
Is the skeleton?
Yeah, sure. The skeleton probably hit.
Cool! Can I roll agility to run over and go and like unclip it or untie it or something and drop it onto the skeleton?
So, like, cut the rope or whatever?
Cut it because I have a pitchfork.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cut it. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
That's a 5 and a 3.
No, I'm sorry.
What happens?
You make it over to the chandelier.
But I'm not fast enough on time.
Yeah. So for this first turn, you're still kind of like...
Fumbling with the knots.
Mrs. Van Hougen's turn. She lets out her claws on the end of her hands.
Oh.
What is she?
And-
Scary face you made there.
Yeah.
She kills me.
Feathery wings sprout from her back.
Harpy?
Yeah. And she sort of like flying squirrel glides over to you, Gray, and tries to slash you.
Oh, how rude.
So I need you to roll agility.
0 successes.
Zilch? Okay.
Yeah, because I rolled a 1.
Okay, so she hits you. 3 damage.
Ow.
Okay, and then it's your turn. So she's right in front of you. There's a skeleton under the chandelier. Gil's over by the chandelier. And then he's by the fireplace, and Flora is next to you as well.
I'm not made for this sort of work. Gray sort of groans, and then he attempts to stick his pitchfork into
Could
the
you
face.
heal the skeleton? to make it alive again.
Maybe. Might actually work, but in this case he's just
It's
gonna try
reanimated. It's alive.
and stick his pitchfork into the face of the harpy right in front of him.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I'm going to instead try and...
Sort of, if you like threw it.
Yeah, I'm going to try and toss the pitchfork over the harpy lady's shoulder into... I'm going to toss it at Mr. Scary Blood Mage.
Okay. Mr. Scary Blood Mage.
I cannot roll a set of dice that does not include a 1.
How many successes did you get?
1, and then it got cancelled out.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You miss.
Yeah.
But
I'm really not built for this.
let's see. Why don't you roll 1d10 and see what luck has in store for where that pitchfork goes?
6.
6? Okay. So the pitchfork hits one of the little statuettes on the fireplace behind you and falls onto the ground and shatters.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to destroy it. It was probably priceless.
He kind of looks down for a second, grimaces at you.
Really, destroying works of art is so gauche.
Okay, back to him. The room goes dark, unnaturally dark, like night has slid in. And all around you feel a sliminess, like someone's large tongue has made its way up and down every side of your body.
Oh, just like home.
There's a shiver of terror goes down your spine. You feel alone. There's a foreboding loneliness around you.
That's fine. I was in an institution.
Oh wow, it really is just like home.
I was in a mental institution.
Roll-
That's fine.
Roll 1d10.
Actually, can I use that as my excuse? I was in a mental institution. I should be fine with intense loneliness.
Okay, you're probably fine with intense loneliness. You might not be fine from the extreme pain that follows, though. So roll 1d10, please.
Arcane?
Yes, you may use roll arcane if you so desire to lessen the effect.
I get 2.
So roll arcane first.
That's a 9, baby.
5 and a 3.
Okay, so roll 1d10, but half the result. Roll 1d10.
Swabbing these dice out.
That's...
Of course, that's when I get something decent.
rounding down?
2.
2? Okay. So you take 1 damage,
Hey!
and you take 4. And then the darkness fades away. Flora's turn. The fireplace...
Stop wasting your rolls.
Fire
Getting
intensifies.
6s and 4s.
The fireplace
Nothing to
fire
waste there, and
intensifies, and a flame shoots out in an arc towards the harpy.
Oh.
Barbecue chicken.
She manages to hit the harpy. The harpy's now fried harpy.
Fried harpy.
Barbecue chicken.
Oh. Distasteful.
She conveniently runs under the chandelier.
She looks like a chandelier. It's a skeleton. The skeleton knocks the chandelier over. All the candles fly at Mr. Van Hogan. He gets set on fire.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine!
Knives fly out.
Now we're talking.
After she does so, Flora collapses onto the ground.
Oh dear, Flora. Are you okay?
I believe
How does she look?
She looks like bones are broken. Like, kind of like August does after he uses his
I
pyro
believe we
ability.
just lost our bargaining chip.
You do not look well at all, my dear. Can I help you?
Can you?
I believe so, if you so desire.
Yes.
You consent to my touch, then?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Taggart, your turn. The rope. Begin the rope this time. The chandelier falls and crushes the skeleton.
Yeah, I did it! Are the bones moving?
Like they were, the bounce bouncing.
Oh, I thought you meant they were still like animated, like they were still trying to get at
And then
me
a
or
spooky,
something.
scary skeleton song
Spooky, scary
plays.
skeletons
down
your spine.
Right.
I place my hand upon Flora's forehead.
Yeah.
And heal her.
Right. And then she's fine. Obviously.
And she's fine.
And then she's fine. That was interesting.
I hope you're feeling better now, my dear.
Much better.
So, Flora is indeed a blood mage who's capable of various magics as a result.
Yes.
But very untrained in comparison to her not dead.
You lucked out, Mr. Gray. The statue you broke is one of my father's focuses.
Oh. Well, I do tend to be lucky.
We can try to destroy his physical form, and that will lower the barrier for a few hours before he reforms. But if we destroy his focuses, he will not be able to control the servants.
Ah, interesting. And what will happen then? Still sort of holding.
I suppose they will not appreciate having been used.
Sounds to me like our focus is the focus then.
But first, Mr. Van Hougen's next turn.
I'm just probably dead.
As a free action, he waves his hand and puts the chandelier back on the ceiling.
The rope reknots itself, or just now it's suspended
It's
there?
suspended. I need you to roll agility, please.
That's not like it.
Nice. Very good roll. So you need to take 1 damage, please.
Oh, that's... Oh.
He sounds like a bolt of electricity at you. And then he targets you with his other finger. Roll the same thing, please.
What am I rolling?
Agility? Ooh, 2 botches. Never mind. As long as you get 1 success, you're fine.
As my good friend once said, nice! Yeah.
Okay.
That's 4 to 5.
It goes off your shoulder, bounces off the wall, and manages to miss you on the other side. So.
It was a 10.
Yeah, I know. That was good. That was rolling in your favor.
Oh.
So it went and dissipates on the other wall.
It didn't hit a focus or anything by accident?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Taggart, speaking of which, those items behind Mr. Van Hogen seem to be focuses for his power.
I could hear the conversation. I'm standing not 10 feet away from you.
I'm never sure if you're paying attention, Mr. Taggart.
Only when I'm about to die.
Okay.
Okay, back
I'll
to...
just have to keep that in mind for the future.
He just won it, so it's my turn.
No, Flora goes before you. Right. Flora claps her hands together and chants. And polymorphs into a golem. Like a rock golem. So... She grabs the chandelier that's been suspended in the ceiling and throws it at Van Hougen.
Your rage is understandable, my dear, but the focus is...
You made a mistake, you dumbass. You shouldn't have given us the opportunity to do that again.
Clearly did not count on her having the ability to spend all of her bullet points again.
Okay, well, ouch. He's hit. His arms have clearly been dislocated from his shoulders. And then they snap back into place.
Fancy.
You will pay for that, mortals. Your turn, Taggart.
Are they like on a mantle behind
Yes,
these
they're on
focuses?
the fireplace mantle, yeah.
How many are there?
There were 3, one's been shattered.
Then as
Okay.
he's, I guess, snapping his arms and whatever back and recovering, I
Yeah.
can kind of make a dash in.
Yep.
And just kind of make a wild swing for these focuses.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
His arms are not in use during your action.
So then a wild swing for these focuses.
Well, swing for these focuses.
I guess-
Sounds like a chief.
Yeah, I allow a chief.
Because the focuses can't resist him.
Yeah, because it's environment. Yeah.
That's a 10 baby!
You wild swing one of those focuses right off into the wall nearby.
I'm gonna die next turn.
Speaking to Van Hogen, you know, it's generally not a good idea to have your magical focuses in the same room that you're doing combat in.
I cannot carry them on my person. They are too powerful.
Oh, I wasn't actually expecting you to respond. That's rather nice of you. Thank you for being so courteous.
You're some
I break
kind
the
of a
focus.
dumbass.
Since I was walking over while he was paying attention to the conversation.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Right.
Like a cat just knocking something off a shelf.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not trying hard. Just going.
Right. Go ahead.
Mr. Roll, I'm knocking a thing off of a shelf.
Oh, okay.
It's his turn where his arms are not.
Right, yes.
I mean, he could try and stop me, and I could roll for that. But otherwise, like, the thing can't actually stop me.
Right.
He's done his action already, to be fair.
Yeah. No! What have you done?
I broke a focus.
You probably
Idiots,
have
they're
made
not
something.
focuses, they're containment units!
Yep.
Oh yes, I got that. Supposedly all of your servants will rise up against you?
The flames behind him go from red to purple to blue.
Uh-oh.
And fiery tentacles spring out from the fireplace and grab him around the wrists and around the ankles.
Ah.
And around the neck. Ow!
I suspect you made a deal that you're regretting now.
Or this is going to be something worse for us.
And his flesh starts to burn on those parts. And he gets dragged to the fireplace and consumed. And then the house is set ablaze. I'm going to have you roll something to get out of the building.
Before we start running, Goodman Gray does a strange swipe sort of across his own brow, as though he is wiping away invisible sweat.
Used to feel.
Yeah. Academics. The case is, I know where the door is.
I have studied this. I know doors.
I have an incredible mental map in my head of the path.
Mr. Taggart, I say from over near the door, are you coming?
Yeah.
Fine, you can roll that.
No, I was just joking.
Okay.
That's only my stat with 3 in it.
Okay. But like things are falling, so I am
Yeah,
going to
I'll roll
roll
agility.
something to try
Okay.
to get back to the door.
Agility? Finesse?
We'll roll agility or precision.
Finesse would be fine as well.
Okay.
Not precision though.
It's exactly the same.
I'll allow
So.
agility.
And we're not
Or
attacking somebody.
persuasion.
Dilute.
That's a 6 and a 9.
6 and a 3.
Okay. You both make it back outside.
What about Flora?
Flora?
Stone Golem also makes it outside.
Okay.
Probably fine.
And she returns to her original form.
A very impressive little one.
And with him out of the way, my powers can now increase. Flora smiles at each of you. I thank you very much for eliminating the competition. And she motions to the security forces that are now bound around her.
Oh well, this is also one of the more common outcomes for our missions. Gray looks sort of disconsolate as he sort of sits cross-legged and puts his arm and his head on his hand. Seems that more often than not, we just end up helping somebody accomplish something.
Van Haugen was a sadist, a madman. I am merely interested in knowledge, and I will not keep you here. It's not as a sign of gratitude. And she sort of motions her hands as if parting the very air. And in fact, you see some of the clouds move above you, and it gets a little bit brighter over one spot.
Thank you, my dear. That's very kind of you.
I would still like to learn how to do that.
Return to me next century. I will give you a
That's
moment of my
not
time.
possible for me.
Not yet.
Oh,
Thank you. I hope you will keep this discreet. I have enjoyed working with you, gentlemen.
Well, you're very welcome, my dear. And you're welcome also for a little bit of help today. Goodman will be calling.
He will know about the tour. You will have to be careful. He won't forget your face.
Oh, well. Gray smiles. I'm actually a bit ahead of the game in that particular regard. But thank you for the warning.
I probably won't be on the next one.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, dear. Farewell.
I hope so. That's the plan from here on out. And you return to wherever it is the two of you call home. And that's that.
Another marker, brother.
Oh, thank you guys.
And thank you.
I'm gonna
Good
clap for
session.
myself.
Good evening, dear listeners. This is S.I.R. That is S.I.R. I trust you enjoyed tonight's entertainment. This episode's cast is as follows. Nathaniel Keefer as Dr. Walter Keel. Christopher Keefer as Goodman Gray. Richard Jellison as Gil Taggart. Tonight, our storyteller was Nathaniel Keefer. Until next time, in transmission.